Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I am doing my March of 2022 budget closeout. My name's Alyssa, and on this channel I create budgeting content as well as content around my reselling business and just financial tips and tricks that I've used in the past as well. If any of that sounds interesting to you, please hit that subscribe button. It's completely free, but it really does help out my YouTube channel, and I would be so appreciative to you. So let's jump into the video today. I have done all of the numbers already for the budget closeout just to sort of streamline things here and not make this video super long for you. So how we always start the budget closeout is with the expense tracker. So here I take my budget category organizer and basically I use the highlighter method. If you guys are looking for 12 highlighters, I have a link in my description box below to my Amazon sort of affiliate store. It doesn't cost you anything to buy those items, obviously except for the initial purchase price, but it doesn't cost you anything extra to purchase via my links. So if you are looking for any type of budgeting equipment or things that help you budget better, feel free to click on that and see what I've got. And if you're interested in any of it, feel free to purchase it. And like I said, it doesn't cost you anything else. But I did get these highlighters off Amazon here. Same with these erasable pens that I absolutely love. They come in a pack of 3 for like $5 or $6. So it's a pretty good deal. But I use the highlighter method. I go through and I highlight all of the transactions that I've had. There's a couple of different things that happened this month. So my debit card that I used to make most of my purchases stopped working, and so I had to start putting things on my credit cards and while I waited for my new debit card to come in. So for Bank of America, because this is a Visa card, and then on my Discover card, which is obviously Discover, some places don't take Discover, but pretty much all places take Visa. So there was a couple of things that just got separated, but I did line it out pretty well. And instead of, writing just this Bank of America for debt, I just put the total amount I paid and exactly what it had covered under here. Same with the Discover card, so I never actually counted that. I counted the individual transactions. I hope that makes sense. But here is how much I spent each of the categories, and that's what I'll use to close out my budget for the 15th through the 31st. So everything that I put for income that I budgeted for was pretty much exact. My work, my paycheck, I got 2 commission checks this month or these 2 weeks, so that's why this is a little bit higher than typical. I think I didn't get any the first 2 weeks, so $1,653 is what I typically get paid, but I got 2 commission checks, so it was an extra about $1,300, which is fantastic. My payback, it was about $40 more, only because my boyfriend paid me back for buying us dinner one night for like takeout. Rollover obviously was exact, and I didn't use any sinking funds. So my total income for these 2 weeks was $3,584. Honestly, that's great to have that type of income. The first 2 weeks was $2,581, so I'm pretty happy about that. Just keep in mind that my work, it is minus all of the federal tax. We don't have state income tax here in Washington, and then also my 401k. So if you're ever wondering, where's my 401k? How do I budget with that? It's actually something I just don't even add up. It comes right out of my work check. And then my expenses for the month. So Spotify was correct. My 24-hour gym membership, I guess it's about $7 more expensive than I was anticipating. That is absolutely okay. If you guys remember, I had tried to cancel my Fubo TV, but I completely forgot to actually cancel it. So this expense will no longer exist going forward. And then the gym will kind of take over it, but obviously it's like $60 less. And it's doing something, good for my body. I love their classes. That's why I decided to join back up. They had a promotion that was, $0 reinitiation fee. You just had to pay every month. Xfinity was higher, which was super weird. If I go back and look at February's, Xfinity was $64. So I'm not sure why it went up $10 or $9. I need to go take a look at that. Hulu as expected, same with my Acorns investing, therapy, and then electricity. I ended up just rolling over $100. I got to figure out a better way to take this money and put it somewhere where I don't have to take it out of the bank. So I got to figure out something, a better situation for that. So total expenses, honestly, not that much. $194, like that's crazy. I don't know how I've gotten it so low for the second half of the month, but we don't really do much. I don't have that many subscriptions, so most things come out of the variable expenses, and then also saving for my student loan. Grocery, I was under budget by about $55 at $145. Eating out was over, so pretty much just canceled each other out. Gas and car, I was surprised I didn't go over budget with my gas. I only spent about $94. Investments, I would love for this to get to the full 40. I think I just need to focus a little bit more on making sure I can get to that 40 in terms of maybe once a week adding an extra $10 there. The reason I don't think this was super high is because I had to use my credit cards for a couple of things, and the investments are attached to my debit card. So they do roundups, and if I'm not using my debit card, obviously there's nothing to round up. Fun and entertainment, I purchased something off Groupon, so that's where the $6.75 comes from. Nothing for holiday, nothing for self-care. Miscellaneous, I bought something off Amazon. I think I bought two things off Amazon. I'm trying to redecorate our apartment and also just clean things up. So a lot of this miscellaneous, and you'll see when I set up my April budget, it's gonna be pretty high because I am just trying to do things to lessen the amount of stress I have. And these, I think, were picture frames, so I can finally hang out my diploma that I paid pretty much an arm and a leg for. Travel, $69.87. I flew back from a trip and I ended up upgrading my seat, so that's where this number comes from. And then also I booked a flight and I had credit, so it was only $30 for each one of those things. Pets, just had a vet visit. This will actually be paid back to me from my boyfriend. So total was under budget at $748.43, but I had budgeted $795. So really not that bad in terms of my variable expenses this month. For sinking funds, I'm so happy with the way my sinking funds and savings turned out this month. You'll see it a little bit later of what percentage went to savings. But I think when I create my budget, so when I write all of this out and you guys do it with me here, that same day I'm going to the bank and withdrawing the cash. I think that helps me make sure I am saving for the sinking funds and not going over. So I did save everything to the T for my MacBook, Christmas, vacation, my sister's graduation gift. If you're watching, Zoe, you're getting cash. Spend it wisely. 4th of July, car insurance, birthday, my boyfriend's birthday, which isn't until September, but I'm trying to save up, in case we want to go somewhere. And then my savings challenges as well. Just a PSA, I will be doing a quarterly savings challenge update, sinking funds update, and a debt update. So keep an eye out in the coming week or two for those videos, and you'll kind of see where I am to date in terms of savings, my challenges, and my debt payoff. Nothing towards Discover or Bank of America. What I had in my expense tracker was all things that I had bought this month. So it wasn't that I had really any debt to pay off. I was just basically paying off what I paid for this month, which I would have used my debit card if it was working, if that makes sense. So sorry, I am jumping all over the place. Sinking funds total was $1,067, which left me with $1,574. So after debt, still $1,574. $1,574 is what I had to basically spend for the rest, knowing I have to roll over the $100 for electricity. So I did put $1,305 towards my student loans this week's, which is great. That's about almost half of my work income. Basically, because I have commission, my commission checks are taxed at about 30%. So if they were each $1,000, this is pretty right in terms of putting all of my commission towards my student loans. The first half of the month, I put $200 towards, so in total I actually had $1,505 for the month, and then I put $200 towards saving for a house. This is where the numbers got a little bit off, and I'm not quite sure what happened. So if I subtract the $1,305 and the $200 from the $1,574, that gives me $69. But what's actually left in my bank account is that $100. So maybe somewhere around here I miscalculated something, but at the end of the day, I have the $100. I'm above what I was expected to be, and I am perfectly okay with that. So that's how my money was spent for March 15th through the 31st. If you've watched a couple of these closeout videos, you know I do kind of these other pages as well. So I want to walk you through kind of closing out the entire month. I am not going to do the debt payment plan at this point anymore, nor will I do the assets and liabilities, just because I really have 2 student loans and that's my only debt. So I'm trying to really work that off or pay that off. And then liabilities and assets, I'll do this off camera. There's just some things I'm not comfortable sharing on YouTube. But liabilities, honestly, it's just my student loans, which would be written here anyhow. Where did my money go? So March category breakdown. I did this all off camera to sort of speed things along. You're more than welcome to pause this video and take a deeper look at this if you're really wanting to look into where my money went. But where I was over budget was grocery, eating out, savings, which is a good thing to be over in, fun and entertainment, self-care, personal, and then miscellaneous I was also over. So a lot of these other things, not too bad in terms of not being over budget. But my total monthly inflow with my starting balance, which was rollover, my earned income from my paychecks, other income was things that got paid back to me. So my total monthly inflow was $6,080, which is kind of crazy to me. That's like more money than I've pretty much ever made in my life. I wish this was something that would be every month, but it honestly is not. So let's see where my basically debt and savings went here. So I didn't have any debt payoff, so this was not relevant. But my savings, and you guys, I am so excited that I managed to save 52% of my income this month for savings. So my total savings was $3,172. You can see how it breaks that down here. Sinking funds and my student loan were obviously the biggest here, which I am so thankful that I'm able to really start saving to make basically a mass payment when this comes back due. My student loans come back due in, I believe it's May or June, it's due again. So I've got April and basically May to save a couple more $1,000s to make a big payment, and then it's really just paying that off. If the Biden administration cancels any part of my student loans, obviously this won't be relevant, but I'm not holding out hope for that by any means. So if you have student loans and you're holding out hope, please don't. You need to prepare for the worst case scenario, which is very likely that you will have to start paying back these student loans. I don't think that they're going to cancel it in any regards before things are back due, which is unfortunate, but it's understandable at the same time. My mentality is I never thought that there would even be an option for my student loans to be canceled. I'm not in the public sector. I'm not in a nonprofit. So I took out the loans, whether I was educated or smart enough to make that decision at 18 years old is a completely different story, but my name's on the documents and so are my signature. So I took out the loan and it has to be paid back. Yeah, we can save that for another day. I can do a whole video on just my thoughts on student loans, but at this point, it's gonna have to be paid back in some regards, probably all regards. So yeah, I'm excited I was able to save 47% of my savings that I saved towards the student loan. And I'm not going to do where did my money go this this month I didn't use my meal plan at all. I'm just so busy, you guys, that I'm just kind of going with the flow. However, I do want to go through the front of this. I realized that I haven't been going through the beginning of where I've done, you know, a lot of this work up front. I'll link the video up above of where I set all of this up. The pages I really want to look at is this one, the yearly spending overview. So the pages I'm not doing, right, like, okay, I did this here for February. I'm not doing it here for March, but I am gonna do it here. The yearly spending overview shows you exactly what my income was for each month and what the expenses were and how it's changed over time, which I think is a really great snapshot of my expenses at a whole as I continue on this financial journey here. I thought about it the other day that I pretty much want to use the Budget Mom workbooks for the rest of my life. It has honestly changed so much for me just in terms of savings, and I'm excited for my sinking funds quarterly update for you guys, and you can see really the progress I've made, and I'm really proud of myself. So this is wonderful. Just kind of seeing how much I put towards savings this year is just insane. It's like $10,000, and it's only, well, now it's April, but it's only the end of March, right? So I'm excited to see how much more I can save this year and kind of work towards my journey of paying off debt. Debt, obviously, savings does incorporate that student loan savings too. And I don't think there's any other pages I kind of want to walk through with you while we're on today. So I hope this video was helpful. Let me know how your budget went for March. I'm always so curious of everyone's goals and journeys. So please hit that subscribe button. Would love for you to follow along on my journey. Give this video a thumbs up. It's completely free. Sounds like the dog wants to start playing with this squeaky toy. So I'll let you guys all go enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.